Bergenia Leaf painting tutorial. A bit complicated, but I'm walking you through all the process of creating this beautiful leaf. An outline drawing is done. Let's mix watercolors. Adding water to color palette. And for the first mix, starting with Ultramarine Blue, adding lemon yellow, a little bit more of your lemon yellow. Second mix, Sap Green, a little bit more of Sap Green, little touch of Alizarin Crimson to make it more earthy green. Third mix, Sap Green, Alizarin Crimson, and transparent yellow. Testing colors on a piece of paper. It would be great if you would have a real subject in front of you to compare colors, but also a reference is a good reference, so the colors in the reference you can be trusted. Adding a little bit of Alizarin Crimson to the first mix. Perylene Green for the darker areas, but be very careful. We need smooth transitions. And Manganese Blue for those shiny areas, which are a lot of on this leaf. So we'll be using Manganese Blue, but you can use also Ultramarine in a very small amount. Let's start painting. This will be a little bit different than my usual painting techniques. I'm not watering the whole leaf or the half of the leaf. I'm starting with the little sections. As you can see in the reference, left side of this leaf is very bumpy, lots of curves, lots of lights and shadows and shiny areas. Right side is a little bit different, but the left side will be painted as I started right now, one section at a time. And as I say sections, that means from one leaf to another leaf, I will be painting that one section at a time, applying a very small amount of color, of watercolors, with the tip of the brush, using fine tip brush. And as I apply, I will smooth with round synthetic brush, carefully studying reference. There are so many these curves, and this leaf have these characteristics of so many curves and shiny areas, so we need to take that into consideration. We will not be recreating the whole all these little bumps and curves, but we need to get this look that is visible in the reference. Watering little section, looking at the reference, constantly checking. Also important, in the reference you can see that this leaf is curved, and in lower part of this leaf, shadow area of each section is on one side, and starting in the middle and going up, the section of the shadow area changes because this leaf is curved, and we need to take that into consideration when we are painting. That's what I'm saying. You need to really study your reference. Every section, look in the reference. Don't assume something and then just paint everything the same. This is not the case, and it's always like that. You need to really be careful, because in nature everything is in movement, and how sun or light is hitting the surface, and shadow and light can be in different places on the one area. Now I'm adding another vein. I feel that I need more, and that's also okay. This leaf is quite big, and the most important is main vein and secondary veins, and these secondary veins create this bumpy and curved look, so we need to get those secondary veins. Not all 159 veins, I'm just joking, but I don't know, 70%, 60% of the secondary veins we need to show in our drawing, and then painting those areas. Again, moving section by section, watering, and then slowly applying carefully watercolors. I mixed mostly two green colors. One is based on Ultramarine Blue and Lemon Yellow, and the second one is Sap Green and Alizarin Crimson, because not all of you have Sap Green, so I show you that you can paint a mix very similar green colors using different pigments. Now I'm at the finishing stage of recording this tutorial. This leaf can be painted on and on, adding another layer, more details, more spots, contrasts. It's all about the effort of you and how much time you have. You can take a pause and come back later. Now I'm adding Sap Green to the middle part of this leaf, making veins, secondary veins, a little bit more darker than closer to the outer part, and also this middle part creating a little bit warmer compared to the areas which are exposed to light. So it's just a matter of your patience and dedication. Take a pause, come back another day and continue. This leaf can be painted for another day and just get the more realistic look. I don't have so much time for the tutorial, and this is a very detailed leaf. So I showed you all the techniques that I'm using. If even I will go for another day or two for this leaf, I will still be using the same technique. Just adding another layer, some detail, making thinner veins. They still can be much thinner as they are right now at this stage, and adding some more watercolor transparent layers. But the process and techniques are the same and will stay the same. Now adding a lightly watercolor layer of manganese blue to the lightest area. There are lots of blues. Had a really amazing time painting this leaf. Hope you learned something new. There's a lot of things that we discussed, and I show you different techniques, different approach. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and see you in my next tutorials. Bye bye.